seen an extremely long train? One that just goes super far and gets in the way of every engine on Sodor. Duck is being featured 2 episodes in a row. Oh no. Well, this is Thomas and Friends, episode 45, Long Train Problems. So this is what happens when you have way too long of a train. Hero had to deliver passengers and himself to Big Blue Bridge, the milk to Crosby, and the Sodor fuel to the fire station, Tiger to the zoo, and the eggs to McCall's farm. He had way too many things to do. On top of that, he had a small job at the gold mine for the day. And he had Duck on his tail for some reason. After that, he came back and they started the work. But things are going to get chaotic real fast. Because if your train consists of 8 parts, you're going to collapse eventually. Let's see. Hero was on the highway. The National Edward Toby James Memorial Highway. Thank you, All Engines Go, for giving me a good name for this. Hero was going kind of slowly. He had Duck, which counted for 9. And worse, he had a tender, which just includes more chaos. And that was until he got to this curve. There was a little problem with the curve. The curve was a little broken. The curve was slightly off. And because of that, boom! Everything crumbled. One by one, it all fell. The curve snapped back into place the moment he fell. Anyways, everything was on the ground. It was pure chaos. The fire trucks were called in, and the problem is Kevin works at the other fire station at Crosby, and the one in Metro is closer, so there's no Kevin coming over, and Kevin doesn't work at the Metro. Now the fire trucks were described by Dodge, who came to see the accident, as small as a train crash. A couple parts needs to be fixed. They thought, another train crash. Looks like we have to do something. They did not know about how big it was. And turns out this curve was quite unstable for the day. And it flipped over, Splatter, and Dodge and went back in. And some were even thinking it had a mind of its own. And then they went up the bridge, and that's when they saw it. Heck no. This is why you don't want a big train. You have a big train, you're just going to cause a ton of chaos. Smoke and pollution filled the air for hundreds of miles. In fact, it was everywhere. On the what seemed to be around 100-ish kilometers of track. It was disgusting for most of it. Between the Great Bridge here and this track, it was smoky. And also between here as well, over here it was. The fire trucks were way too scared. But they decided they had to go help. Splatter and Dodge were the first ones that were helped. They wiggled, secured it in, and the cars were fine. So Splatter and Dodge left. But now they had to deal with the rest of this mess. First, immediately, unfortunately, there were 3 casualties because there were people in these coaches. 3 people died as Hero went off. So immediately, these coaches, instead of being delivered to Big Blue Bridge, the fire truck took them away. And it was terrifying. Passengers were screaming because there were dead bodies everywhere. The fire truck left. And they were analyzing about how a track can break so fast. And they figured it out. It turns out Victor had previously come here to fix the track when one day Toby went over. But Victor didn't have a license in fixing tracks. And he didn't fix it correctly, didn't get it checked with the fire engine or anybody. He wiggled the track, and he also didn't prepare it very well. He just slammed it back in. He didn't bother to test if it was safe. So after the fire trucks were able to fix this, They were ready to go absolutely full on against Victor. Immediately, it was discovered the tiger did survive. So they were able to get the tiger out, but the tiger is in very bad condition. So they rushed him to the zoo. Luckily, the zoo was only about 10 to 15-ish minutes away. The tiger was placed in the zoo, and the woman was told, "Oh, another accident I see," says Scotsman. "I gotta go check this out." Scotsman was really into accidents. Yeah, what a weirdo. Which meant he was into himself. Oh, roasted! By the narrator. Just kidding, I like Scotsman. He's one of my favorite trains. Anyways, he came up and realized, whoa, that's a fun little mess to watch over there. Not so fun if you were a part of the mess. Heroes, all 8 of Hero's front wheels didn't work, meaning they had to be repaired by the water tanker. Victor was still a trainee for this kind of stuff, meaning he wasn't even legally allowed to do this, so Victor was going to get destroyed. The ladder guy, Hook and Ladder, was going after Victor. Immediately, Duck has survived. All 3 engines decided to go to Big Blue Bridge for the day. Oh, look, 5, because there's 2 more here. Milk was delivered over here. Well, not here. The milk was delivered just fine to Crosby. Sodor fuel was put at the fire station. And finally, the fresh eggs were placed at McCall's farm. And with that, the whole accident was fixed. Turns out the 3 people who said to die didn't die. They survived. They were just unconscious or whatever. And Hook and Ladder was the one to discover this. Boko, Daisy, Caitlin, Big Red, Toby, Diesel, Sir Handle, Mighty Mac, Sir Topham Hatt, and other, even mean engines too, were so happy that all passengers survived. And so, they did not want to go with Hero again. But it wasn't necessarily Hero's fault. Everyone had known about that for like a while now. Hero didn't do anything. It wasn't his fault that he fell. Immediately, Hook and Ladder was going after Victor, but Water Tanker was going back to the station. Victor! Victor immediately knew why he screamed the name. But then he said, "Victor Red Train!" Which is supposedly his full name, but I don't think that trains have full names. Victor ran fast, running a red light. In fact, Hook and Ladder almost crashed into Diesel because Diesel had the green. Immediately, there was a reason why Victor got stopped. Caitlin knew and cut him off. No! Victor was in big trouble, and he got what was called the Shedlock. Shedlock was a common phenomenon in Sodor. If you do something terrible, you get locked away at Tinmouth Sheds in a shed for a whole week. No, not able to get out. Just one sip, a couple sips of water, bites of food. That's it. Then, for a whole month, you're banned from going in tunnels and wherever you were. Meaning, Victor is banned for a whole month from the whole highway. Starting on the left of this V and ending at the Great Bridge. And from also repairing for forever, possibly. We'll see about that. Which meant Victor, because he couldn't go on this highway, was locked out of Knapfordville, Crosbyville Fire Station, too. McCall's Farm, the Blue Bridge, Crosby Station, the Zoo, Airport, Cranky, Knapford Station, the Cave, and Big Blue Bridge. No one liked getting Shedlock. Almost no trains have ever. The Hook and Ladder was talking over with Sir Topham Hatt, and they eventually came up with one lesson. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.